await the arrival of the ADF. Let's run through the team lists. Davis Welsh is the fullback. Davies and Sadler will be on the wing. Sullivan-Togo and Evans are the centres. Ingram and Ford in the halves. Banu, Tai, Mara, Chester, Ingram and Mooka complete the starting side. While on the interchange bench, it's Bakai Mosby, Madison Tooth, Keegan Islands, Shanice Allen, Jessica Howard, Vinique Malayata and Kiara Naikoko. They are the First Nations Gems. The ADF side, Dan, Vasea, Kaepernick, Sinclair, Mead are the back five. Morley and Allsop in the halves. Longford and Eastwood in the front row. Hooking is Humphreys, while the back row, Burden, Barlaw and Hawkins. On the interchange bench, Wilson, Fraser, Salas, Thomas, McDougall, Hebby and Sue complete the side. And looking at the results from yesterday, the First Nations Gems, a win and a loss for them. A 10-0 win first up against the Northern Territory, and then they went down to Victoria, 6-4 in their second game. While the ADF, 2 losses for them, 12-0. They went down to Victoria, 16-0 versus Western Australia. So hoping for a change in fortune in game one today. We'll play a 20-minute period in these open women's games to start. And expecting a pretty intense game first up, given the shorter period. And the First Nations Gems, I should say, will go back-to-back. They'll play Western Australia in our second game as well. So, as is a feature of this competition, the Gems will get us underway, though. The ADF in the blue kit, of course, with the camouflage. Underway on day 2. First up, the First Nations Gems and the ADF in the open women's competition. And the ADF have first use at it. Good strong tackle by Mosby and Mooka. ADF searching for their first points, as I mentioned. Here's Dam. She was one that caught the eye for the ADF yesterday in what was a tough start for them in back-to-back defeats. But you can see the defence aiming up already from the First Nations Gems. Made the final last year, as I mentioned, losing to WA in that decider in Golden Point. A bit of a surprise yesterday, Victoria defeating them in their second game, so they need to remain on. First set here for the ADF, they want it to be mistake-free. Ebony Fraser's pushed back. A strong tackle. Got to the 40 of the ADF, they'll now want a clearing kick. It's come from Allsop. First Nations Gems will contend with it through Evans. Do love to throw the footy around the Gems. Didn't see that expansive style of rugby league yesterday. See there at dummy half, Rebecca Ford, really key part of what they do in the number 7. Plenty of rolling in to the Pizzey Park today and hopefully across the weekend. Entry is free, so if you're on the Gold Coast or you're going to be here for the long weekend, make sure you do pop in, and if you're not, get a comfy seat and check out all the action live here on NRLW. Good start for both mistake-free to this point. Ford doing the kicking, it's a potential 40-20. Dam has to get back and fight out of her in goal. See her get her hands on the footy a lot more. She looked dangerous yesterday every time she touched it. She's met a strong tackle here. Here's Lauren Dam. Quite a schedule for these players across the 4 days, so interesting to see how they cope with the demand. Back-to-back matches, and that's why they are just 20 minutes to try and manage those workloads. No less frenetic or ferocious, and you can see the First Nations Gem defence certainly. So we still await first points. Heavy's going to play it. Fight away. Just shy of her own 30. This was the story of the ADF yesterday. Possession and good position going against them. In these shortened games, it's so important to find some points early. Kicking Morley. Dangerous kicking behind. They haven't quite read the Gems. Still alive here for them. Eventually they pounce on it. A good penalty. I think there was a push in there. Madeline Burton, the guilty party, just pushing out one of the Gems players as they tried to pick it up, but good idea from Cassidy Morley with the kick and almost proving defence. As Ford finds her touch and the Gems can go on the attack. Look for Brandy Davis, well, chime in at fullback as well. She was one that caught the eye yesterday. Breached up another two. It's a strong charge forward by S.A. Banu. Takes 3 ADF players with her. Good signs here for the First Nations Gems. Trying to keep it all. They do, in fact. Chance here for Sullivan-Togo as she tries to fight to the line. Get 3 metres from it. Cue to the right are the Gems. Surging towards first 5 minutes gone in our opening game on day 2. Gems split their games yesterday. Ford with it. Right. Is that too much on it? It's going to roll dead. It is. Right idea from Ford, but just too much on that grubber behind the line. And Dan will run it back for the ADF. She's met again in a strong tackle. Physical work for the ADF fullback so far. Now Morley taking it to the line, turning it inside to Madeline Burton, who juggled it in the play of the ball, but not a judge to have knocked on. Now Hawkins thinks with Longford, and Longford pumped the legs all the way to the halfway. Still not held. Shy of the 40. Well, they held scoreless yesterday. There might be some fruits from the attack on this set. As Humphreys turns into a ball player and play just shy of their own footy. Still there for them as they try to stay in. They can't. In fact, they push it too wide, and it's the work of Carla Humphreys. And it has to Samantha Mead going into touch. So spirited start, both sides still scoreless. If you're joining us on NRL.com, the First Nations Gems and the ADF, the Women's Open portion of the competition. ADF looking for their first win. First Nations Gems, a win and a loss on day 1. Some cracking games as well. We'll get the defending Open champions Western Australia against the Gems next. New South Wales Country and WA, 2 of the fights of this competition. That is one to watch at 10:30 this morning. Many circling that in the calendar. Thought Davies, they got a penalty, slowing the play of the ball. The ADF to roll away as Mooka charges forward. Still away, first points. That's 6 again, it is. 0 tackle here. Brandy Davis-Welsh gets into the line, in fact breaks the line. One-on-one with Dam, has no support coming though. Eventually brought down. Got to send it right, the Gems. They are lined up. Have a massive overlap if they can put it through their hands. That's what Ford is looking to do. Cuts out a couple. This will be the opening try, surely. No, it's called back as forward. Bree Chester looked destined to score, but the pass is forward, and they just had to put it through their hands. Chance goes begging for the First Nations Gems. Credit the ADF for their scramble defence. First time we've seen Brandy Davis-Welsh chime in from fullback into the attacking line. And broke straight, clear, but when she needed it, just no support off the right shoulder. Encouraging signs, though, for the Gems. An entertaining start to day 2, certainly this game. Again, it's the ADF having to fight out. Hits like that from Mooka that make life tough. Madeline Burton it was who crunched over the top. In fact, it was Paris Sinclair. Here you see it. Aiming up in numbers. Ball's come out, that a knock on it is. So they get great reward for their defence. And they'll have a full set, 10 out from the ADF line. Plenty rolling into Boxing Oval this morning. Good to see them out supporting Women's Rugby League in the Harvey Norman Women's Championship. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you're watching. Can the Gems find first points? Forward in front of Chester. She was denied moments ago. Will they look to the short side? Bailey Davies. Hard to stop this close to the line. They do in fact try to do that. It's Mackay Mosby reaching out. For a moment I thought she was over the line. Watch forward from dummy half. Madison Tooth, try scorer yesterday. They've lost ground in the first 3 tackles. Now Banu will prove hard to stop. This close to the line. She's 2 metres from it. The ADF, credit their defence, doing a great job. Mooka to dummy half. Forward. Cuts it out the back. They've got numbers here. Sullivan-Togo was that forward. It's gone out anyway. And again, a chance goes begging for the Gems. Composure lacking at times in key moments so far. Again, the ADF scramble. Again, it's job done for now. But again, they have to fight out from their own 10-metre line. And they're driven back. One of the games to come in the Open Women's competition. The Gems and WA to follow this one. WA, the defending champs. So, plenty of work early for the First Nations Gems. And not having a way, they are muscling up in defence. That's a good offload, though, from Morley. Also, the halves combining. Scoot out a dummy half. They'll fight their way. 35 out from their own line. A little slow to play the ball with Kaepernick. Morley turns it inside. Ball goes down again. Now seeing a lot out of Cassidy, Morley and Ebony halves combining nicely so far. Neither's copybook blotted to now. Second half of this game. 9 minutes remaining. Still scoreless in our opening game. Ford puts it out. They just have to put it through the hand, surely. Sullivan-Togo, she's going to go herself. She's going to score the opening try. Tawana Sullivan-Togo just powers over the line, and the Gems finally get reward, and they finally get their breakthrough. They have the first try against the ADF women. Well, Brooks Adler was outside, and Sullivan-Togo said, I'm going to do it myself. And the ADF defence has been good to now, but finally under the weight of possession, the Gems register their first try. Tough conversion for Rebecca Ford. Had a few of them yesterday as well. A real breeze to contend of, but more or less out on that sideline, as you can see. Kenji turned 4 into 6. Taking its time to balance herself, clear the mind, look to convert this. Not a bad effort. Shy. Just falling past that right-hand post. So remains 4-0. First Nations Gems on the board. And they finally have reward. Yet to see the ADF really have an opportunity at their try line. Still time though to rescue something. 7 minutes remaining. Reminder of the schedule today, 9 games back-to-back. This is first of 9 here on NRL.com. Adam Santarossa here with you in commentary. Thanks for your company wherever you're tuning in from. Going global across the next 4 days in the Harvey Norman NRL Women's Championship. So back underway. Mead restarts it, and the Nation's Gems will look to hold this lead. After points, they just don't want a mistake. Complete their set and keep the ADF in their own half would be the mantra you feel. Good run from her. Mooker to dummy half. Ford takes it to the line. Back to Ingram again. Fights away. 40 out of the ADF line. They want more points, and they want to put this one to bed with just under 6 minutes remaining. Penalty will help the cause. Just holding down in the play of the ball was Paris Sinclair. So Ford takes a quick tap. Olivia Ingram. Look at a dummy half. Plus minus scoot from there. Now Islands goes on her own. Pokes her head through. Try to get the arm free. Queued up to the right. Smell a second try here, the First Nations Gems. Ford with a cutout pass. Oh, it's on a platter. They just had to catch it. Davies and Chauncey Evans. Neither could contend with the ball from Ford. That would have sealed the game, surely. And it leaves the door ajar for the ADF. So the ADF, again, it's another set. Every one of them has started from this part of the field. They'll have to go the distance if they are to pull off a win over the Gems. Certainly capable. Morley liked her work in this second game. Of course, these teams come together. Lauren Dam, nice work again. Mentioned the X factor she is for the ADF. Teams still finding those continuity and those combinations. Can take some time to bed down. And ADF, this is a better set from them. Out to halfway and still going. Gems just getting a little sloppy around the ruck. Salas still fighting forward. Now the cavalry comes to help out. Hawkins in a dummy half. Morley, pass was high. She contended with it well. Good inside border Eastwood. Last tackle now. Under 4 minutes remaining. Can the ADF find a repeat set? Put some pressure on the Gems. Game well and truly in the balance. Bounce to the board, not kind. Davis Welsh has to tidy up, and in the end, does it easy enough. A little slow to play it is Davis Welsh. Bailey Davies, strong scoot from dummy half. Getting some crucial meters late in this one. ADF really need to aim up, try and force a mistake. They can get a full set in the Gems half. Potentially win this game. Mooker has them over the 40. Mosby had a dummy half. Links with Chester. Over halfway now. I'll look to Jones to just put the finishing touch on this set with a good kick. Just takes the time. Hangs it in the air now. Amanda Thomas back, and they'll have to start the set again. 15 out from their own line. The ADF have tricks up the sleeve to claw their way back into this game. Just 4 points the difference. 2.5 minutes remain. The ADF searching for their first win. Certainly one the First Nations Gems can't give away. They want to contend for this tournament. Finalists last year. So thrilling stuff to start day 2 here in the Open Women's. So you want to see Lauren Dam getting on the ball, trying to make something happen. So too Cassidy Morley. As I say that, those two combine, and the pass from Dan was a little too hot for Amanda Thomas, and it goes out over the sideline. And they may only have one final shot if the Gems can't put it to bed on this set. So they will ice some seconds off the clock with the restart. It's a full set for the Gems, 35 out from the line. Is there a try in them to put this one to bed? Register their second of the tournament. Here's Chester, takes it to the line. Nice little ball play inside, forward to forward. Brody Ingram and Rebecca Ford screaming at their teammates. Here is Brody Ingram, shows the dummy and does poke her head through the line. I'll stay here on the right-hand side. Ford now with it. Shows a good short ball to Chester. Hard to stop. Meter out from the line. Last tackle. Pivotal moment in this game. Final seconds. They need to be clean here, the Gems. Game in the balance. They don't want to open the door for the ADF. Got numbers. Eventually the kick comes in. It may work itself out anyway. It's in touch. The AF may get one tackle to try and conjure something special. Going to have to hurry. We are in the final seconds. They have run out of time, in fact, and that is it. The First Nations Gems prevailing in an absolute thriller over the ADF, and what is today too. And only one try between the sides. It was Tawana Sullivan-Togo. Weight of possession and field position dominated by the Gems, but credit the ADF's defence. They were in it until the death, and their defensive work limited it to one try. Let's go to a break. Game two, not too far away. First Nations Gems and WA on the other side.